Big flex, okay. Diamonds on my chain. I can't even stay, cause y'all just too lame. I've been on my grind. What is up with YouTube? Back again with another banger video. And we doing another reaction. Keep it the bangs. I'm gonna be doing my reactions until I do want to do a mom video. I might do a mom video sooner or later. Probably sooner because I went to the mall a couple days ago. And I'm thinking, I ain't gonna do enough. I did enough to actually do a video. I do apologize. Should have recorded. But today we're doing another reaction. I'm competing over my boyfriend with his sister. I caught them cheating and wait, what? Oh, that was at the first beginning of this. But let's get right into this. We may only do like half of this because this video is 24 minutes. So I want to keep my videos at 10 at first. But I might go up. If y'all want a second part, hit your boy up in the description below. And I will drop a second part. But let's get right into this. Oh wait, hold up. I didn't play it.
Hi, my name is Erin and I am 23 years old. I'm going to tell you the crazy story of how I spent day and night to become a pro gamer just so I could get the attention of my crush, and then how his super clingy sister came in to ruin everything. So, I work as a software engineer and there's this guy at my office who is the most gorgeous person I have ever seen. His name's Dane. He doesn't socialize much with anyone. Most of his time and attention is devoted to gaming. Most of our coworkers used to call him snobby and arrogant, but I knew better than assume things. I mean, I had first-hand experience with his kindness. He may be a quiet one, but he was always ready to help when needed. Once, I was way behind on one of my projects.
They just called that loner. That's just loner vibe, bro. I like playing video games. I like keeping my distance, cause people be fake. You know what I mean? That's just loner vibe, bro. I'm just keeping the bands with you. That is loner vibe.
And my boss asked me to work overtime to finish it by the deadline. When everyone left, Dane saw me typing furiously on the computer. He offered to stay behind and help me complete my work. No, it's okay, I said, feeling embarrassed. I don't want to give you trouble. He shrugged. If both of us do the work together, it will be completed much faster, and that way we can both go home early. He didn't even listen to me after that and sat down to help me. I was seriously dumbstruck. This was the first time I was even talking to him, to be honest, and why was he helping me? He didn't know me anything. But this selfless act made me admire him even more.
I don't care about that.
Things went back to normal the next day. He was back to being quiet and aloof. I thought of approaching him during our breaks, but always found him busy playing games on his device. This was one of the reasons that everyone called him arrogant. But seriously, what was their problem? Just because Dane didn't like to socialize doesn't mean he was snobby and arrogant. It was funny how everyone liked arriving at conclusions about others without knowing the full truth. I'd only ever seen him talk to one person. It was his sister. She used to come to pick him up after work most of the time. When she didn't, then Dane would go to her workplace. I'd also heard that they lived together. Well, it was evident that they were quite close. I mean, his sister was practically the only human being he willingly interacted with, if we ignore that one incident where he helped me. I don't know why, but I was now desperate to talk to him, to get to know him, to get closer to him. It was definitely my feelings for him that were controlling me. I racked my brain for a few days on how I could possibly approach Dane. I couldn't just directly go to him and ask him out. Moreover, I was afraid that his response would be cold if I just went to him and started talking about the weather. What could possibly help me get his attention? And then it struck me. He liked gaming.
Hold up. Just come up to me. How you think the weather been? I think the weather been. I can look outside and see how the weather been. Why am I like a petty person like that? I'm gonna be banned with you. If you come up talking to me, have you been looking at the weather lately?
Whenever he was free. I'd seen him playing Fortnite. I was going out of my way here, but learning to play Fortnite was the only option in front of me. At least I would have something in common with him then.
Hold up.
And so it started, my obsession with
Hold up. So, she literally started playing video games to impress a dude. Bro, to all the girls out there, when your dude is on the game, he's like, why you on the game not paying attention to me? Man, I'm paying attention to you and been on my game. Cause I hate when girls be like, get off the game and talk to me. I'm talking to you and I'm on the game. It's called multitasking. I hate when people be like, get off the game, get off the game. But you can get on this game with me. I got two controllers for a reason. I got two controllers for a reason. For this exact reason. We can both play together. Man, y'all be tripping. Get off the game.
Becoming a pro gamer.
A pro?
I watched videos to learn the tips and tricks and practice day and night for a month. In the beginning, I sucked. Like, I was really terrible at it. But slowly, I started getting the hang of it. I started winning. And after 2 complete months of practice and dedication, I became a pro at it. Now, finally, I could approach Dane. So one day during our lunch break, I asked him if I could sit with him. He nodded absentmindedly. I took a seat in front of him and started talking about games. I saw that you're interested in Fortnite, I said.
I'm sorry for girls to talk to me and say, have you been playing 2K, huh? Have you been playing Madden, huh? I swear to God, that if you want to catch my attention, come to me talking about video games, money. That's how you catch my attention real quick. Or anime. If I ever find a girl who watch anime, I'm gonna have to wife her. I'm gonna have to wife her up. No cap. She gonna become wifey right there. I ain't even lying to you, bro. Coming to me, hey, you watch the new episode of My Hero Academia? Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, you watched an episode of My Hero Academia? Yeah, I did. You want to talk about it? Yes. I need a girl who's gonna be like that, bro. I need a ride or die girl who watch anime with me. Yeah, that's gonna be wifey material. You dig what I'm saying?
Pointing towards his phone. I recently got into that too. He looked at me with his eyebrows raised. Really? Are you any good? I shrugged.
That's exactly how
you can play with me to find that out. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I started playing the game with my crush. I was so nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he was obviously better than me since he'd been playing much longer. To be honest, it seemed like he'd been playing all his life. I put all the skills and knowledge I'd gathered in 2 months into the game, and I played with him. And let me tell you, the end result was pretty awesome. He was so impressed with my gaming skills. Wow, how long have you been playing? He asked. 2 months, I replied. You are quite good, he remarked. I mean, better than most of the experienced players out there. I blushed. Really? He nodded. I can bet on it. Thanks, I said with a smile, for the compliment and also for that one time you helped me. He waved his hands dismissively. You don't have to thank me for that. I'm happy to help. But still, I'd like to treat you to a dinner or something if you don't mind, I said. I was totally expecting him to refuse, and to tell me that I was crossing a line now, but imagine my shock when he gave me a breathtaking smile and said that he'd love to join me for dinner. So, we had a date. I mean, at least for me, it was a date. My happiness knew no bounds. Finally, my efforts in winning him over were paying off. Our first dinner date was successful, and we talked a lot. It was the first time that I'd heard Dane talking so much. He told me about his family. As everyone had suspected, he lived with a sister, and they were quite close. My sister is the only family I had after high school, he said. My parents are not really fond of me. My sister is the only one who bothered to maintain contact with me and came to live with me after I got a job. I hoped that was going to change now, and he'd consider me at least a friend, if not anything else. He told me that his sister was a pro gamer too, and sometimes she played even better than him. There it goes, another gamer to impress. He dropped me home afterwards, and the next day I couldn't help but feel giddy when I saw him across the office. He even acknowledged me by waving and smiling. The look on everyone's faces was priceless. They were literally gaping at us. I guess seeing Dane like this had them taken aback. Dane and I started hanging out more often, spending our breaks together and talking about anything and everything. In short, we were getting closer day by day. One day, while everyone was getting ready to leave after work, Dane's sister showed up. Dane introduced me to her. Her name was Lori, and she seemed not too happy to see me. I don't know why, but I had a feeling she didn't like me. You're the first girl my brother's ever talked about, she said with a fake smile plastered on her face. That's because she's one of a kind, Dane said, coming to my rescue. Really? Lori frowned. What's so special about her? Dane gave her a look that spelled out, behave yourself. She gave me another fake smile, and then both of them left. Well, that
I
was
like
awkward.
this.
What did I ever do to Lori to make her hate me in our first meeting? Could it be she was jealous of her brother finally socializing with someone that wasn't her? But wasn't that a good thing? Ugh, this sounded ridiculous even in my head. But my suspicions proved to be right later on. Lori was overpossessive and super clingy to Dane, and she didn't really like that I was grabbing his attention now. She invited
Can I say this? Are they step siblings? If y'all get my drift, they must be step siblings. Yeah. I'm not gonna add that in.
me to
I'm
play
not
with
gonna do
her.
it.
I'll pass, I told her bluntly. I'd learned gaming only for Dane. Besides, it seemed like Lori's intentions behind playing with me were not so pure. She definitely had some motive behind it. She pouted. That's a shame. Dane told me you're really good at it. Why won't you play with me? Are you afraid that you'll mess up? Did she really go there? I know for certain that she was trying to agitate me, and sadly, it worked. I mean, I could still refuse and walk away, but Dane was there too and watching this whole exchange quietly. I couldn't tell what he was thinking, but I had this weird feeling that he'd be disappointed in me if I passed up on this challenge. So I agreed to play with Lori, and guess what? Of course, I lost to her. She made me look like a fool and a trash player. She was
I swear to God, anytime somebody dares me to play against them, I freaking lose. I don't know why. Just wow.
really a pro at this game, and I never stood a chance against her. She started laughing after the game was over. I thought that you were impressive, but what is this? She asked mockingly. First graders do it better than you. Lori, there's no need to insult someone over a game.
No
Dane came to
lies.
my rescue again.
I can't beat them. There's some first graders I can't beat in Fortnite. I'm a season 3 player. Crap. So, I know my little cousin. That boy is he's probably about 6 years old. He can beat most of my friends playing the game, and some of my friends are literally tryhards. Bro, that boy's hands is literally about the same size as a pill bottle, but he can play like he got some grown man hands.
And then he turned to me with an apologetic look. Cheer up, Aaron. All gamers have bad days. Don't let it affect your mood. I nodded, but I couldn't pretend to be happy when I wasn't. Lori threw a fit and left us. I watched her walk away in shock. How old was she? Could she at least try to act her age? Dane grabbed my hand all of a sudden, taking me by complete surprise. Come on, I'll take you to dinner tonight. Your mood will be better then, he offered with a smile. Wow, what a surprising day. Just when I thought that Lori had ruined everything for me, she helped me get a date with Dane. I guess her plans to make me look bad in front of him backfired. We went out on this date, and Dane kept trying to cheer me up. I told him that I was all right. Lori can be a bit too much sometimes. I'm sorry about her behavior, he said with a sigh. I had no idea that she would take it so far. I can't help but feel bad. It's okay. It wasn't your fault, I said. And besides, she's your sister. I guess she was just trying to look out for you or something. After that, we closed Lori's topic and started talking about other things. And when I say other things, I mean much deeper things. Well, in short, he asked me out towards the end, and I said yes.
Yay.
I swear, I felt like I...
Crap, it has already been 13 minutes of me recording, but we are going to finish this video. We're only 9 minutes into the video. Yeah, we're going to have to finish this video either way it goes, because I'm interested in this video. It's probably going to be like a 30-minute video now, but forget it. We going to finish this, guys. Going to be a lot of editing, but we going to finish this. I'm sorry. I'm invested in this story now.
I'd have a heart attack when he asked me out. I was finally going steady with the guy that I've been crushing on for so long. It felt like all my hard work and efforts had finally paid off. But of course, this day wasn't over yet. Lori had to come and ruin everything. She walked into the restaurant just as we were about to leave. She spotted us and came over to...
Why does this remind me of every pretty girl has that ugly best friend? This sounds like... Can I even compare that to this? I don't even know, but... Oh.
to sit next to Dane. Lori, why are you here? Dane asked in confusion. More importantly, how did you find us? I narrowed my eyes at her. Dane gave me the location, she replied smugly.
Narrow my eyes.
Yeah, but I didn't know that you were asking so that you could come here, Dane said.
Bro, what
What's
is with
going
them
on?
keeping this up? I don't
Lori
support
shrugged.
this.
Nothing. I just wanted to have dinner with you. I'm not interrupting anything, right? You so are, I wanted to say, but of course I kept my mouth shut just for Dane's sake. Lori, Dane started. Aaron and I are on a date. You should have called before coming here. Lori's expression was so priceless that it was hilarious.
I look funny even in
What the
animation.
heck? You're dating her? Lori asked after picking her jaw up off the floor. Yeah, Dane frowned. Why is that so surprising? You have never dated in your life, she exclaimed. It was just short-term relationships that didn't even matter, so why are you going out with her all of a sudden? Because...
Why does that sound like me every time I can? Why does that sound like me? It's only short-term relationships that did not matter. I had, oh dang, I flipped my eyeball. I probably had 2 long-term relationships. When I say long-term, I mean like 3 to 6 months. Like I think my long relationship lived about 6 months.
I want to, Dane replied. And anyway, it's not something that concerns you. Please don't overreact. Lori's lips trembled and I almost rolled my eyes. So, she's already replaced me, she asked dramatically. I see it how it is. Okay.
Replaced me? This ain't sounding like no brother and sister relationship now. Whoa, what's going on? Hold up. Wait a minute.
I'll leave you two to it. She got up and walked away. Wow, I'd never seen a bigger drama queen in my whole life. But on the other hand, I felt really bad for Dane. He had to put up with her all the time. Dane turned to look at me. Aaron, I am so sorry, but I'll have to go after her. I need to make it up to you later, I promise. Please forgive me. And then he got up and left too.
Hold on, what's going on?
So, this is how Lori ruined my perfect date night. Of course, Dane kept his promise and made it up to me later. We went on so many dates after that, but the problem was that Lori was always there to do something or other to ruin our moods. Why the heck did she keep crashing our dates? Seriously, she was his sister, but she kept acting like a jealous ex-girlfriend. Actually, even any ex would not go so far as she did. She was going over the top now. The worst part about it was that Dane seemed to be helpless in front of her. Any argument led to a huge fight and a childish tantrum on her part. And since she was his only family, he didn't want to upset her. That girl knew how to get what she wanted, but I wasn't going to give up either. I didn't let Lori deter me in any way. If she thought that I would break up with Dane because of her, then she was wrong. If anything, she was only making me more determined to stay with Dane. One day, though, I received a DM from Lori. She'd sent me some pictures of herself with Dane. Nothing strange, you think? Well, what if I told you that she was dressed up exactly like me and looked eerily similar to me? Yep, she basically cosplayed as me and went out on a date with Dane over the weekend. Wow, I was speechless. This was a new low, even for her. Not to mention one blurry pic where it looked like they were kissing.
What?
I knew she made it blurry on purpose so that I'd lose my mind trying to figure it out. A few minutes later, I received a text from her. I'm sorry, Aaron, but I broke up with your boyfriend on behalf of you. Oh, wait. He actually thought I was you. Man, it was so funny. Anyway, I just thought that I'd tell you.
What the heck? What the heck, bro? Hold up, wait a minute. What I put my headphones in? Oh, snap, hold up. Bro, shut up. What the heck just happened? What the? Bro, shut up.
The office and walked up to kissing. I knew she made it blurry on purpose so that I'd lose my mind trying to figure it out. A few minutes later, I received a text from her. I'm sorry, Aaron, but I broke up with your boyfriend on behalf of you. Oh, wait. He actually thought I was you. Man, it was so funny. Anyway, I just thought that I'd tell you. I was numb for a second before my mind started reeling. She did what? I didn't even have the words to curse her now. I tried to text Dane, but his phone
I
was
didn't have the
switched off,
words to
and I couldn't do anything except wait for the next day. On Monday, I went to the office and walked up to Dane. He was surprised to see me. I didn't waste any time in explaining everything to him and how Lori had impersonated me and broken up with him.
Messages.
He was stunned for a moment before he sighed tiredly.
Screenshot
I kind of
messages.
figured that it was Lori, he said slowly. She's my sister. How could I not? I gaped at him.
Okay. Screenshot messages. I got proof. She done text me this, bro. I got proof on this girl, bro. Wow.
And you still played along with her? What else could I do? He threw his hands up in frustration. For the past few weeks, all I've been doing is fighting with her. And I'm seriously so tired of it all. No matter how hard I try to explain to her, she never gets it. And when I realized that she was cosplaying as you, it struck me that she was too far gone to understand anything, so I just gave in. I felt a lump forming in my throat. I wanted to ask him if he kissed her too, despite knowing that it was his sister, but I couldn't. The thought was so gross in itself that I started to gag. Dane asked me to forgive him, and I did, because I really understood how he felt. I'd seen what kind of trouble he was going through because of Lori, and I knew that it was all too exhausting for him. That's why I just forgave him, and we decided to forget about the entire incident, pretend like it never happened. Well, I'd successfully destroyed Lori's attempt to break us up. Dane and I were still a thing, and I was going to make sure that it remained that way. There was only one thing that was eating me up. That freaking kiss. Did they or did they not do it? I couldn't sleep that night, and a really insane idea popped into my head. I decided to spy on Dane and Lori. I know it sounds crazy and ridiculous, but that's all I could think of. If they made out once, then they were bound to slip up and do it again. At least Lori would definitely do it. I went to where his apartment was. Conveniently, they lived opposite a building that was under construction. I climbed up the steps of that building and reached the top, which was directly parallel to Dane's apartment. I could make out his living room window. I fished out a pair of binoculars from my bag and looked through them. I could see everything clearly. Dane and Lori were cuddling on a couch and watching Netflix.
They Netflixing chilling before the complete chilling. If you catch my drift.
Just great.
Bro.
Here, my whole life has turned into a drama, and they were enjoying Netflix. Could this be any more ironic? Well then, it was confirmed something really weird was going on between them. The next day at the office, I confronted Dane during a lunch break. I came clean about last night and told him what I'd seen. I knew I was a bad person for spying on him, but he was equally bad because he was sort of cheating on me. He inhaled a sharp breath before meeting my eyes. Yes, you're right. I was cuddling with my sister. What's so wrong about that? I gave him a disgusted look. Are you seriously asking me that? Look, if I have to keep her quiet, I have to do it, okay? He said in frustration. Showing these signs of affection are the only way that she won't bother me. If I said I was shocked, it would be an understatement. But weirdly enough, I still didn't blame Dane for anything. I saw only Lori's fault in it. She had messed with his mind for so many years, and she kept doing it. She distorted his thoughts to the point where he couldn't differentiate between right or wrong when it came to her. And this was exactly what Lori wanted. Well, now I knew what I wanted. I wasn't going to let Lori off the hook so easy, and I was not going to break up with Dane. I had deep, genuine feelings for him, and I wanted to help him overcome his problems. The biggest problem?
Him and her were Netflixing and chilling. What happens after the Netflix? If anybody knows, leave it in the comment description below, but make sure you don't say too much, because YouTube will be on my butt.
Was Lori. Now I was determined to do something about Lori. From what I'd gathered, she was attracted to Dane, but she couldn't do anything about it officially because he was her brother. So, what if I removed this obstacle for Lori? What if I found her a replacement Dane? As in, a guy who would be exactly like Dane, but she could take things forward with him since he wouldn't be her brother. I made profiles on all the social media sites and dating apps under Lori's name. I pretended to be her on these apps and started searching for a guy who was just like Dane. It took
To anybody who to anybody who can tell me what this relationship reminds you of, the first three people I will give a shout out. I'm not that big, but still, the first three people who can tell me what comes to the head about that brother and his relationships gets a shout out.
took me a few days and endless browsing, but I finally found him. I found the perfect guy who can impersonate Dane. When I first saw his pic, I almost mistook him for Dane for a second. He looked so similar to him. His name was Todd, and he lived in a different state. I messaged him, and fortunately, he replied. I got to know a few things about him. For instance, he was an actor. I didn't beat around the bush for long, and I told him what my purpose really was. I told him that I would pay him to seduce and date Lori. Surprisingly enough, he agreed. I guess he needed the money since he rarely got any acting jobs or big roles. So he couldn't really pass up on my offer. I booked him tickets to visit me and met him outside my office 2 days later. I
How much money is you making, cuz?
everything to him over coffee, and I told him what he had to do. Wow, you are all crazy, he said after I was done telling everything to him. I can't deny that, I said with a sigh, but I am not willing to lose my boyfriend. Whatever,
Y'all
he
know about the
shrugged.
crazy chick.
I'm only in this for the money.
Saying?
You better pay me on time. After all, it looks like I'm setting myself up for one crazy girl who's crushing on her frickin' brother. Yeah, I've already made the advance payment, I told him. You can check with your bank.
Good.
And my plan was put into action after that.
Hey.
Todd accidentally bumped
Okay,
into
put it on
Lori,
YouTube.
and as expected, Lori thought that it was Dane for a brief moment. She was baffled when she got to know that it was someone else. Todd and Lori remained in touch after that, and slowly but steadily, Todd seduced her, and they started going out. Everything was going smoothly, and Lori finally...
Just imagine. You just truly imagine this. You see your sister dating a dude who looks just like you. What are you gonna do? I would be completely blue if I was.
left me and Dane alone. It was so weird that she was dating someone who looked exactly like her brother. Todd told me that she was embarrassed about it and wanted to keep the relationship a secret. Well, guess whose weakness I had found? I could definitely use that against her sometime in the future. I mean, I know that I'd successfully thrown her
Blackmail
off and
is
stuff,
the
but
key.
how could I forget what she'd done to me in the past? How could I forget that day she
Beat you in
cosplayed as me and
Fortnite?
broke me up with my boyfriend? Heck, how could I
Okay.
forget that she tried to kiss him? Nah, I was not letting Lori off so easily, especially because Todd wasn't a permanent solution. I was paying him to be her boyfriend, and it wasn't worth it. First of all, it was taking up so much of my money, and secondly, Todd just couldn't pretend forever. He had to leave one day, and then Lori would be back to Dane. And I had to stop her and teach her a lesson before that. I had to make her realize that what she wanted to do with her brother was wrong. And she already knew this, considering how
Get her
afraid
to
she
move
was
out
about
with that
people
dude.
finding out that she was dating her brother's look-alike. One day, she came to pick up Dane after work. Dane was busy on a phone call, and I happened to be there, so I was basically left alone with Lori. I chose this moment to rile her up. Yo, Lori, I don't hear from you these days, I said with a smile. Everything okay with you? I thought you would do something again after that breakup stunt failed. She rolled her eyes at me. Look, I have better things to do now. So, you admit that what you were doing was not a nice thing, I asked. Did you finally get a hobby? Oh, please, she scoffed. Don't act all high and mighty just because you're dating my...
Come and run again. We want a dose of this right now. It's 88. I'm about to spin a black Storytime.
Hold on, give me 1 second. I like this. Oh, this is legend.
brother.
I saw this.
I would always have greater hold on him. And for your information, I have a boyfriend now. I gasped. A boyfriend? Did you finally move on from Dane? Who is this secret guy, Lori? She looked around nervously. After all, she'd blown her cover, sort of. You know, I don't really believe you, I said. Just admit it, you're still hung up on Dane. No, she shrieked. Just you wait. Tomorrow I have a date with my boyfriend. I'll send you our pictures. And she did. She did send me her pictures with Todd the very next day. I was still surprised for a moment about how much he looked like Dane. Well, this was perfect. All I had to do was leak these pictures and expose the secret boyfriend of Lori's. Everyone needed to know that she was actually crushing on her brother so much that she would date his look-alike. I didn't leak the pictures, though. Todd did it for me. He posted it on social media and tagged Lori. Now, each one of Lori's colleagues and friends thought that she was dating her brother. I had to come to Dane's defense and clear up everything. I explained in a post that Dane was dating me, but Lori had tried to make a move on him in the past. I attached the photos from the time she'd cosplayed as me for proof. Everyone was shocked. Needless to say, Lori tried to make up some excuses
That's
and lies, but it didn't
nasty.
work this time. Everyone now thought of her as a weirdo who was trying to impersonate her brother's girlfriend. I made my last payment to Todd for his services, and he left. Lori now knew the truth, and despite everything, she still tried to get Dane's sympathy. But thankfully, Dane could now see what he'd been doing wrong all along. It was my fault in the first place, he said. I kept giving in to her, and this is how she turned out to be like this. I fed her wishes when I should have clearly told her not to cross the line. I'm glad that you understand that now, I told him. Lori was back on track and trying to ruin my relationship with Dane and make him feel guilty and stuff. But this time, her tricks wouldn't work. Dane didn't even want to be seen with her after everything that had happened. It was going to affect his image too. No matter how much Lori pleaded this time, Dane refused her. He even moved out of her apartment and asked Lori to figure out her life on her own and keep her distance from him. Well, what can I say? Dane and I have been going strong ever since, and no matter what trick Lori employs now, she is helpless. I honestly pity her for not being able to move on from Dane. Why couldn't she just try to fall in love with some decent guy who is not her brother? I hope she comes to her senses soon and realizes why she was wrong all along. Anyway,
Okay, so that's the end of the video. This is going to be a lot of editing. This is already 31 minutes and finna be 32. But I will see y'all when I see y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And listen to something. Wait, hold up. Didn't it say something about them cheating? You want to say cheating and revealed their secret? Bro, that was clickbait. I'm sorry, that was clickbait. But I'll see y'all when I see y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe. I'm gonna say that one more time. But yeah, your boy is out of here. Don't forget again, just to make sure y'all know your boy trying to get to 1,000 real quick. But videos probably gonna slow down next month because I gotta go back to school and it's gonna be for digitally. So it's gonna be more of a struggle. I'm gonna tell you that now. But I will see y'all next time. And I'm out.